Hello everyone. How are you? Hopefully you all are doing well. So today we are joined by Oron. Oron is in the lap today, so if you see a tail or you see his head poke up, just say hi. But we're going to take a look today and see what the energy holds. So as always, take what resonates. Leave what does not resonate. I woke up this morning and my spirit guides were telling me that I needed to do a reading today. So this is for whoever needs it. Like I said, I have no idea what this is until after it is all said and done. But hopefully this message finds you well. I know a few days ago when I sat down and gave you the last reading that it was, these things just keep getting bigger and bigger. The changes keep getting bigger and bigger. And hopefully that gave you some insight as to, what was happening and why it was happening and, what you can do about it as an individual to kind of help yourself move forward through these changes. Because we're not supposed to be stagnant. We're supposed to be kind of like an ever-flowing being, because this moment is the only moment that we have that is, fixed, and we can actually change what is happening in this moment. So let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through for today. Underneath we have a leg up, Treasure Island, chopped wood, chaos and conflict. I feel like some of you are stuck in a situation where you're just kind of spinning. I do feel as though that there is some good things with it, but there's also some bad things with it. This Treasure Island and chaos and conflict, it's very interesting to see how they came up on both sides. Because one of them, is exactly what you want. And it's the good things, it's the happy things. Whereas the other side, it's a conflict. I'm hearing a conflict of nature. A conflict of nature. But essentially it's causing some turmoil inside of you. And it can also be outside of you. But I do feel as though this has kind of been picking away at you at quite some time. Like up here, I see that the universe there is something to gain from this. But right now I feel as though that some of you are just kind of chopping wood. Some of you aren't really going anywhere. Not really doing much of anything. There's no movement right now. There's no movement. You're just kind of standing in one spot here, trying to roll with the punches. So, what we got? What's going on? Ace of Pentacles, Two of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. I'll also take this Five of Pentacles here and the Artist. For some of you, it could be related about money. For others of you, it is about getting over that final hurdle or that wall that has kind of been keeping you stuck here with this Two of Wands. And it can be other people. It can be other people. Five of Wands. For others of you, it can be, the things that you've left behind. Maybe you decided that you made a wrong choice because you're worried about it. Five of Pentacles and the Artist. But I go back to, what I just said about being in the present moment. While you are being in this present moment, you can always make a new choice. Can you go back and change? He's sitting on my tank top. Can you go back and change, what you did? No. But you can always decide that in this moment you won't do that again. And that is also, a learning experience for us as human beings. You know, we live and we learn, and the whole point of this journey is to, you know, kind of release some of that baggage. I mean, there were things that I did as a kid that, whoo, buddy, I would definitely, I would go back and make a different choice. But since I can't do that, it's a matter of, now that I'm here in this present moment, I know what not to do. And that's what I feel like some of you are struggling. I feel like this Five of Pentacles is really loud. I'm hearing a lack. And some of you could have lacked the understanding, you know, because we do our best with the pieces that we're given, right? And since you move from that point, you have a better understanding and more pieces of what you can work with, right? So whatever this is, I don't feel as though it is here to torment you, and you shouldn't let it torment you. You should let it guide you. Let it guide you. Yeah, justice. Let it guide you. But don't hold on to it. Queen of Wands, Two of Swords. And I feel like that's what some of you with this Queen of Wands is letting it do. You're letting it guide the boat here. Enough said. Nine of Swords, Page of Pentacles. You are reflecting on this really hard. Queen of Cups. World. Knight of Cups. Knight of Wands. I feel like for some of you, this is going to be a teaching moment that you tell other people. Because what I see is, you know, you're holding on to it, you're stressing about it, you're reflecting on it, but then the Queen of Cups comes in. And the Queen of Cups, you know, is an emotion, an emotional state in this particular instance where, you know, love is brought into the situation. It goes from drama to love. But I feel as though it's only after the reflection. Some of you are being way too hard on yourselves. Way too hard on yourselves. And I feel like once you figure that out, this can move forward. World. This can be put to an end, and then you can continue forward. And this Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands, I feel like this is going to be a teaching moment for you. Because notice how we go from the Queen of Wands to the Queen of Cups to the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. I feel like for some of you, this is going to be a teaching moment. Can you give me any more clarity on the Page of Pentacles, please? The Fool. Three of Swords. Okay. Temperance. And the Star. Some of you are dealing with a past love or a heartache. Let's make it a little bit more general here. Past love or heartache where you wish you could do it again. You wish you could start over. You wish that you could, you know, make a different choice. Do things differently. And unfortunately, that's not how things work. But what you can do in this moment is, you know, bring balance into the situation. Bring balance and healing into the situation. You know, if you hurt somebody by breaking up with them, you know, reach out. And don't expect a reconciliation. Don't expect that, because people don't like expectations. But, you know, reach out and be like, hey, you know, I was young and stupid, and I feel like I need to apologize for this, and you know, take accountability for your choice that you made. Because that, I feel as though, is one of the steps to releasing this energy, is, you know, taking accountability. I feel like you are, because you're stressing about it, right? You're stressing about it, you're reflecting about it. But when you take accountability, it can start the healing process. And it goes back to, you know, I made a stupid choice, and I'll know not to make that choice again. So really bring balance into the situation. But again, you can't go back. You can only do what you can do in this present moment. But some of you are really reflecting hard on that heartache. And if somebody hurt you, they, flipping the script here, they were doing the best they could with what they knew at the time. And, you know, I'm not referring to the chronic cheaters and the abusers. And, you know, I'm not referring to those people because, you know, they know what they're doing. You were just caught in the crossfire. This is something different. This is a pain that came out of something that you were dwelling on. And I'm not saying forgive that person because they need forgiveness. I'm saying forgive that person for you. Because you can't keep carrying around this baggage this way. It's not healthy. It is absolutely not healthy. Absolutely not healthy. The one that popped out was the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. Look at that, Nine of Wands. Yeah. I feel like for some of you, this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Because now I see divine energy stepping in with these past situations, with the Six of Pentacles here. Along with the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands. It's interesting because we're going backwards. From the Queens to the Knights, from the Ten of Wands to the Nine of Wands. I feel like we're going backwards here. But sometimes you really have to go backwards to go forwards. And when you start to go backwards and inevitably end up moving forward, I do feel as though that you do get to move on from this. And it does bring about a sense of healing. What is that from? You have to go backwards to go forwards. Sometimes you have to back up to go forward. That's from Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's in one of the musical numbers. But the guy's like, you know, what are you doing? And he's like, you have to back up to go forward. And then, you know, things happen in the movie that, I think it's at the end. I think it's at the end of the movie, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But the solution comes out of that. And that was clarifying the world. You know, how can you help this energy other than the forgiveness and bringing balance back into yourself? How can you help this energy? And I feel as though that once you start kind of nitpicking at it, the rest will come. So how will this be a teaching moment? Because this teaching moment is, you know, one of those things. Knight of Pentacles, another knight. Queen of Swords, the Sun, and the Devil. Give me one more. And the Two of Cups. For some of you who have been dealing with relationships, you know, these will be the things that you know not to do anymore. You'll definitely learn this lesson. For others of you, you know, you'll have that clear communication with other people, especially if they end up in kind of the same situation you do. You'll be able to kind of not really tell them, but help them with your understanding of the situation. Like, you know, we at least I've been here, how we've all had, you know, those moments of dating playboys or playgirls, or, you know, the people who aren't really into this to the relationship, and a friend's like, hey, like, just so you know, I've been down this road, like, it doesn't really go well. And of course, people are going to make their own choices. You can only give them your experience and allow that to kind of enter into their field, their energy field, and have them make the choice that's best for them. And sometimes it works. Sometimes they're like, yeah, you know what, you're kind of right. It does, the situations are kind of similar. On the flip side of that, some people are like, no, it can't happen to me. And sometimes, you know, people have to learn for themselves. But I do feel as though this is a teaching moment to help somebody through their fear of the same situation. And I love how over here we end on the Two of Cups, because it's once again back in balance. I do feel as though this is going to be a teaching moment. But first, you have to get through this energy for yourself. You do. This is one of the steps along this journey. I really hope that made sense to most of you. Zodiac signs that I see, we don't have any sets. We do not have any kings or queens. But we do have Capricorn, Leo, Gemini, Sag, Aquarius, Libra, fixed signs Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So that is who I see. I don't think I missed anybody. Fixed signs Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, Aquarius. I'll take Sag. I'll take Sag too. Sag, Gemini, Capricorn, Leo. And that is who I see. So, thank you guys very much for joining me. As always, your company is well appreciated. And I will see you all again later. Bye, guys.